Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I am here playing Touchstarved, which is a visual novel about the main character having a curse of that if anyone touches their hand, then that person goes mad. You'll see what I mean later, by I said that they go mad. Just to let everyone know, this is still in the demo stage. The full game isn't out yet. I heard it's coming out next year in 2025, but I can't be too sure because I've heard different things. I heard one thing saying that it's coming out this year, which obviously it hasn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing the demo. Demo is still fun. Anyway, but then I heard another thing saying that it's coming out next year in 2025. Either way, I'm still excited for it to come out. So for now, I am playing the demo version of Touchstarved, and then I'll play the actual game when the actual game comes out. So yes, overall Touchstarved, like I was saying earlier, is about the main character having a curse that anyone who touches their hand or them in general, they go mad. And the MC is trying to find a cure for said curse. And they must trust one of these five people / monsters on the screen here. So yeah, that's the overall story of the game so far. This is an indie game and it is made by an indie company. So they do everything themselves and all that. So let's get started. I also have played this before, but yeah. So as you can see there, continue. New game. Disclaimers. Streamers and content creators should turn the volume to 0 in order to disable copyright music. Yeah, it's not. Thank you. Okay. I might not turn it down all the way to 0. I might just put it down to like 12. Content warning. Touchstarved is intended for an older audience. It contains mature content that includes, but not limited to, horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol and drug references, injury, and dismemberment. Viewer discretion is advised. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. If you are sensitive to this topic here, you are free to wait till I do my next video, but if you want to stay, you can. Tutorial. In Touchstarved, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in a unique dialogue interactions or even choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You may even uncover a secret ending. And remember, there are no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. Controls. Left click progresses text. Mouse wheel up, rewind text and dialogue. Mouse wheel down, progress text and dialogue. Spacebar, hide the UI, space. Press space again to bring it back. Okay. I'm going to do my username here. So Perseus. Choose your pronouns. This is the thing that I love about this game, is that you can choose your pronouns. But like you can see on the screen, it is limited to they, them, she, her, and he, him. But it's still a progression, I think. I still find it quite cool. She, her is for me. The world began to unravel long before you were born. Much like with our lives beginning and always, this does rely heavily on me reading, so you will hear me reading a lot. It began with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. Might turn up just a little bit. There you go. And from that fog emerged monsters. Inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possess language and intellect, Others were mindless beasts, driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. You are not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. Now, this is amazing. I love it. The Unnamed, a fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priest claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's words, you fled in search of the Senobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences around you. The Hound, a forsaken thief. You were raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to the Senobium, your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violent underbelly of any city, using your experience with the underworld to go ahead. The Alchemist, an abandoned mage. An exiled Senobian mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the Senobium, seeking your cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. So those are the 4 backstories you can have. I'm going to go with the Hound, which is the thief one. Your name is Perseus. You selected she/her pronouns. Your backstory is the Hound. Is this correct? Yes, it is incorrect. It's correct. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. As rations grew sparse and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair. But then I saw it. Eridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academy called the Senobium. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I would find a cure for my curse, it's there. All that stands between me and the cure is a final stretch of salt-soaked waste. Or so I think until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking between the wagon. Is this fogfall? My stomach sinks at the whisper of it. A silent storm, more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence, heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Stay back! No! The cry dissolves into a wet gurgling. Then, the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard. The air punched from my lungs. When I opened my eyes, adrenaline leaned sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. A trader I once shared bread with lies down in the mud, their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming gristle and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. I tried to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding, white blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a caravaner. Words. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. The soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. But right before it reaches me, a beast barrels past, vanishing in the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Run for the city, heads towards the wagon. I feel like we're far away from the city still, so I'm gonna head towards the wagon. I take cover beside the wagon where the air is thick with greasy smoke. Fire eats through the gaping hole, spluttering where lantern oil mixed with brackish water. Every person I see is dead or dying, except one. O Mother, forgive our sins. Guide us unto your hearth. We are worthy, we are worthy. A traveller grovels by the flames, their hands clasped above their head in fervent prayer. I glance upwards towards the gauzy lights of Eridia, just visible where the fog runs thinnest. I don't pray, but the sight of the city is all the reminder I need. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist of the source, but the fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He slams into me, knocking me to the ground, and slips in a patch of mud. The soulless falls on him as soon as he slows. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with its razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit. My hand catches the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gorge, torn deep into my palm. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Can you stand? The praying traveler leans over me. We need to run. They reach for my hand, and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No, don't touch me. The sensation of the thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. See, this is what I mean when I say that they go mad. Their lips Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. I'm not laughing all that. No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse, madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until the pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Die, 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 die. Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. Scream for help or fight them off. I'd say we're strong enough to fight them off. My nails gouge deep into the traveller's wrist, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. The more I struggle, the thicker their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I am going to die, and not because of the fogfall or the soulless, but because of my own curse. Tears sting my eyes. No, 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 not here, not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveller's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine. Lips still split in the macabre smile, even as blood seeps from their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, and then slump over the claws hooked through their stomach. The soulless shoves the body aside, and the glowing eyes studding its leathery skin, thin as though grinning. There's a flash of claws, red spill across my vision. I thought there'll be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I would die cold, alone, and face down in a desolate wasteland. A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror. Nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment I take a reflexive breath. Air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Nug. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin. A firm surface beneath me. A strange tang of sulphur in the air. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Who says I'm afraid? I twist my head towards the voice. Tears flood my blurry vision at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me. The words come out in a little bit more a little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. No? Who the hell is this? Sit up, lay back down. I will lay down. I let myself slump back against the thin pillow, wincing when the motion jolts my head. Ah, a cooperative patient. Thank you. Anything for you. The words swim in one ear and out the other without much comprehension. I pull the sheet up higher, wiping my eyes until my vision clears. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I notice that I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Naked, lying in a low cot, with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands under the sheet to hide them from sight, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I braced myself for his inevitable suspicion and disgust, but his expression doesn't even flicker from the courteous smile. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You're safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. The only people I ever trusted betrayed me for a fat purse of coin. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. With a soft creak, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery acamel concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. Thank you, or could you step out? Thank you. I should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do, or what he wants with me. Thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. With a curt nod, he leaves through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. I count to 3 in a sudden silence. When I don't hear any footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet my arm shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least, gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. The seconds tick by, and my arm remains resolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I reached for the replacement clothes and began stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black woolen cloak to go with them. But there's one thing missing: my bandages. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I start opening drawers at random, and of course, that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? Yes, I am. I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable. I thought, though, if I meant you any harm, you would know. That doesn't make me feel any better in the slightest, but he makes no move toward me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and molted skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clench my jaw. I knew it would only be a matter of time before he asked about my hands, though the way he does it is strangely roundabout. Say nothing, glare at him, decline to answer. I'm going to decline to answer. Well, that's a personal question I really don't want to answer. Is that so? Surely you realize that I can only help if you tell me what ails you. I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back with this game at another point in time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Well, not hopefully, but I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye!